The Nintendo Joy-Con for the Switch. This may give a point for the... This may be a reason to buy the Switch Lite.
Maybe
possibly,
a reason not to buy the Switch
but
Lite.
probably not. Probably a reason not to buy the Switch Lite. We've got Tinder does no longer love Google.
You said it.
No more relationship there.
No more.
It's clickbait, don't worry.
It's not really, though.
Windows knows its users are stupid and doesn't care about privacy. In case you didn't know,
This one's not clickbait.
now you know. And we'll talk about that later more. And, of course, the man that everybody's wondering about, Elon Musk. He hates AI, but wants you to have AI in your brain.
You ain't smart's what they're saying.
And then, of course, we've got our meme of the week.
Yep, got some good ones.
Yep. We'll see. I don't know about yours, but mine's pretty good.
Mine's A plus.
A plus. All right. So, hopping into our first topic, the ASUS ROG Phone.
So when I heard this article, I really couldn't care less about the ASUS ROG Phone.
Okay.
The ASUS ROG Phone 2. But I've been phone shopping
Okay.
because I thought my phone was dead. It's not. It's just really stupid.
So why did you think your phone was dead?
So I've dropped several hard drives, which is a
Okay.
really odd problem for some people to have. It's cracked up my screen.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. But my screen has several cracks in it from falling computer parts.
Okay.
And which isn't a big deal. I really don't care about my phone screen all that much as long as you can touch it and it works.
Yep.
The thing that does bother me, though, is the camera app stopped working. And it happened
Gotcha.
specifically when I was riding in the rain. It was working, and then when I got home, took a shower, got back out, got my phone
So you were
on.
worried that it was...
I thought it was water
had
damage.
water damage. Gotcha. Okay.
But I was messing with it for about 2 days.
Yep.
And someone said, try uninstalling your Galaxy theme. I have a Samsung Galaxy S8 and reinstalling the Galaxy theme. So I tried it. Camera worked. For about a day, 2 days, it stopped working again. So I just reinstalled it again. Uninstall, reinstall theme. And I have to do that still. So I'm not changing my Galaxy theme. I like my minimalist blackout theme.
Yes.
It would be great if it didn't crash my camera app.
Yes.
So I've been looking for a phone.
Okay.
And last week was Prime Week.
Yes.
So-
Discounts.
I have a couple things I look for in a phone.
Okay.
Long story. But yeah, a couple things I look for in a phone. The biggest thing that I look for is that it has a decent, good camera on it.
Yes.
Because when I need to take a picture, it's usually small text on a computer, and I just need to hold it so that I can see what the blue screen error code is or something.
Because you can't screenshot that.
Yeah, you can't screenshot it. And it pops up, pops out real fast. The other thing I really like is battery life.
Okay.
If I have to put my phone on the charger, it's an inconvenience.
Yes.
You could tell me that I work at a desk for 8 hours a day and you could just sit on the charger at a desk. It's not.
Yeah.
I got 2 chargers on my desk. It doesn't sit on them.
Okay. Yep. So I would say what I look for in a phone is camera. I used to take a lot of pictures on the phone. Recently, not so much just because I haven't been doing things where I want to take pictures, I guess. And then headphone jack.
Yes.
Must have.
Definitely.
Although Bluetooth is nice, but I've got to have the headphone jack because I would never charge a Bluetooth headset.
I ain't putting a Bluetooth headset on.
Yeah. Hey, I like them. And then I would also look for maybe an OLED screen if it's in the price range. OLED's nice because, especially in dark situations, like if you're in a dark room and you're just looking on your phone, it's nice. It's not too bright. Have you ever had an OLED phone or an OLED screen before?
So I've never really cared about the screen.
Okay.
I do really like the IPS screens on monitors.
Just for the color?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's basically the same technology as OLED. I believe
Gotcha.
it's the exact same.
Okay.
Because the IPS versus LCD, there's no competition. IPS is way better, and I think OLED's the exact same technology IPS is.
I'll have to show you my old phone. I had the Motorola X. I think it was the first generation. I'll have to bring it to you and show you the OLED. It is kind of nice. I wouldn't say it's a must-have, but it would be a nice to have.
It's kind of like brakes in a car.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
No. That's a must-have. And then, of course, price point is another thing I look at in a phone. And the reason we're kind of talking about this, I guess, is ASUS just released their ROG Phone 2, which is geared towards gamers.
And this is on Ars Technica.
Yes, battery life, as you see up at the very top in the subtitle, actually, 6,000 milliamp hours, which is a humongous battery, bigger than, I think it's actually the biggest in a phone.
Aside from the Energizer phone.
Is that really a phone?
Yeah.
Like the battery company?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they really released one, and it's a literal brick. So aside
Better
from
have
them,
a big battery.
aside from them,
and then again, if you see up at the top, 120 hertz display, which
stupid.
is crazy fast. I think the previous generation was 90 hertz. 12 gigs of RAM. Looks like a beast. This screen also, going back to kind of our discussion about screens, not only is it high refresh rate, but it's also pretty high resolution. It's 1080 by 2340.
So I don't like that. I would be okay with a 720p screen.
Okay. I would probably prefer a 16 by 9 ratio, just because video and everything is geared towards 16 by 9.
My thumb's only this big. I can't get that high on this phone.
Yeah. So normally 1080p is 1080p by 1920. So this one's a little bit longer, like 400 pixels longer, which is actually quite a bit.
It's a lot. Yeah, I don't like the tall phones. But I've always been a small phone user.
Gotcha.
So I don't like the high pixel screens.
Okay.
With a lot of pixels.
Is there a reason that you don't like that, or
battery
it just makes
life.
okay?
That's the only reason I don't like it.
Yeah, battery life will be interesting with this phone because it has a humongous battery, but it's also very battery intensive.
Yes.
With a high refresh rate, high pixel, high resolution.
So if you were to hand me, what is it, $870? Yeah, $870. Yes. I would put battery saver on, dump this thing down to 720p, 30 hertz, and I would love it.
So you would not get any of the benefits.
Everything about this
other
phone
than the battery
I love.
life.
If I can just make it less powerful.
Which is not who this phone is geared towards.
Correct.
So this phone is geared towards gamers. It's even got a handset that you can attach to it if you scroll down, yeah.
There it is.
Right there. So you put your phone in something with, it almost actually reminds me of the Switch with the little things on the end. Yes. Although it doesn't come off, I assume.
Yeah.
And then it has a flip-up screen as well. So you have two displays. And the phone connects to this by some kind of proprietary
It looks like
connector.
Two USB-C ports.
I believe one of those is proprietary, according to this this article. But unlike most phones, which have a charging port on the end, which means if you're gaming, your hand's either in the way or you've kind of got to maneuver your hand around it.
Yep.
This phone has one on the edge as well.
Yeah,
which is
nice. I do like that.
It does have a headphone jack,
which is great.
Which is very important.
I think that's on one of these pictures here.
One of these pictures.
There
the headphone jack is on the end. Yep, right there. So it'll be interesting to see how this phone does. It's pretty expensive.
So one thing I did notice is this phone is only releasing with 2 cameras. How do you feel about only having 2 cameras on the back?
Oh, totally fine.
You're totally fine with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it seems like a lot of the phones nowadays are coming out with 3 cameras or...
Yep, 3 cameras.
So this phone has a 48 megapixel main camera and a 13 megapixel wide angle camera, which is a lot of megapixels, but I bet the quality isn't actually that great.
Yeah, so one thing I learned is megapixels just tells you the number of pixels, but you want bit depth, and that tells you how deep the color is for the pixels.
And the lens on a phone is not as good as something on a DSLR.
Yep.
On a dedicated camera.
Never will be.
Yep. Just because of the size constraints.
Yeah. So what price point would you buy this phone at? Obviously not $870. Do you think that's a good price?
Well, it's cheaper than an iPhone.
It's cheaper.
I would be more likely to buy this than an iPhone.
So will 28% of people. We'll get to in a minute.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a little while. What price point would I buy this at? I think if it was... I'm just not the person this is geared towards. For $300 or $400, I'd probably buy one.
The next one I want to buy wouldn't be any more than $400. I'm not spending more than $400 on a phone. To me, that's mind-blowing someone would do it.
Yeah, which is the perfect price range for the Google Pixel 3 or 3A.
Yep.
I think one of my friends actually just bought a Google Pixel 3 or 3A on Prime Day.
Okay. They were like $50 sale or something.
Okay. I remember a little while ago they were on like half price.
Yeah.
You remember that?
It was ridiculous.
It was probably a month and a half ago or so. And I was thinking about buying it then because my phone also is kind of going down the drain.
Yeah.
I thought that I couldn't receive calls, but that was kind of a user error on me. But my volume buttons did fall off, and that's kind of annoying.
That's still not your problem. It's a hardware problem, it sounds like.
Well, it is a problem for me, though, because I can't change my volume.
That's very true.
But it's not my fault. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this phone does.
I really like it because it's showing progress in the phone market.
It is. It's kind of innovation. It's something different.
Yep. Something different with a headphone jack, which is more than Apple.
I will say I've seen other phones, like the Razer phones, geared kind of towards gamers, and in my opinion, I haven't seen them take off yet.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, I think the ASUS phone is going to have trouble.
Okay.
Just because I don't think there's a lot of people in that market who are willing to spend the money on mobile gaming like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is more expensive than an Xbox or a PlayStation.
And some gaming computers.
And some gaming computers, yeah.
Because I've built under $800 gaming computers.
Yeah, just kind of wrap your mind around that.
Now, on the other hand, you wouldn't have to buy a gaming
phone.
computer and a phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 2-in-1 deal.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
But something else that's going nowhere is Apple.
Yep.
Over on Macworld, Apple is poised to lose lots of iPhone users if it keeps ignoring the middle. One of my favorite parts about this is they say lots of iPhone users, and I'm pretty sure Apple would say a small percentage of iPhone users
Yes.
may be experiencing a lack of Apple phones in their life.
A lack of interest in Apple phones.
Yeah. So if you've ever seen an Apple phone, you've probably noticed that they haven't really changed over the last 4 years. That's about right, I guess.
Yeah.
It's about the 6. And seems like iPhone users are noticing that they're paying $800 a year, $1,200 a year, and not getting anything substantial like the ASUS phone is doing.
And if you've ever seen the price tag on an Apple phone, you'll notice that it's quite expensive.
Yeah, no kidding. But according to a study done by Bank My Cell of 38,000 people, so that's a decent chunk of iPhone users.
Yes.
38,000 people, which are iPhone owners, are 15% less loyal than they were last year. 73% now. So that's 28% that are not going back to Apple.
Or may not be going back to
May
Apple.
not be. Yeah.
So it says there are 73% of responders who claim that they are sticking with Apple, which is still a very high number compared to a Samsung or Motorola. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, so I'm kind of just talking from my personal experience. But the thing with Android is you have something to compare to each other, and you have options.
Yep.
You can buy the Google Pixel, you can buy the Samsung S10 or whatever they're on now. You can buy the Motorola G7.
Mm-hmm. So how many cell phones have you owned?
2. 3.
Okay, I've
2 smartphones.
Okay, I've owned 3 smartphones now.
Okay.
I started off with a Motorola. It was like a $50 Motorola phone.
Yep.
And then I went to an iPhone 4S, and now I'm on my Galaxy S8.
Okay.
I've never been brand loyal with my phones.
Gotcha. I started out with a track phone.
Okay.
Which is, in case you don't know what a track phone is, basically the dumbest phone you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It can text and make calls, and that's it. And then I got a Motorola X. Yeah, the Moto X first generation. It would cost $300.
Okay.
And I had that for probably 3 or 4 years. And then I switched to the Motorola G4,
Okay.
which cost about $130. And I've had that for 2.5, 3 years now.
Yeah.
And it's worked for everything I need for $100. So I'm not the person that Apple's marketing for, or the
Yeah.
ASUS Rogue.
Yep.
Rogue.
So when you buy a phone, how long do you plan on keeping it? Because I have math behind how long I plan to keep mine.
In terms of economics, is that what your math's based on?
Yes.
For me, I would say 3 or 4 years, but that's just kind of a ballpark number.
Yep. So I bought my phone with a no contract.
Okay.
And it's just through my phone. My phone bill's like $30 a month.
Yep, and that's what I have too. I buy the phone straight up.
Yep. And I plan that my phone price should be equal to 25 cents per day for how long I want to keep the phone.
Okay.
So I spent $550 on this phone. So if you take $550, look at this math right here. $550, and then you divide it down to, what is this going to be? Divide by 4? No, you need times it by 4, don't you?
Yeah, multiply it by 4, and that'll be
that's how many days
the amount
it
of
should
days.
last.
Yeah,
So it's going to be like 2,200 days.
which is
50
like 7 years.
times 4 equals, yep, 2,200 divided by 365. 6
So
years.
6 years, right on 6 years.
Yeah. So for this phone to be worth 25 cents a day to me, it needs to last for 6 years. I'm coming up on year 2, and I'm already disliking it. My iPhone 4, I spent $400 on, and I kept it for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And the other one, it was like a $50 phone, and it lasted like 3 years.
Yeah.
It definitely got its value.
Yeah.
This Samsung Galaxy S8, I hate it. Almost every aspect of this phone.
It has a headphone jack, right?
It has a headphone jack,
So not every single aspect.
but everything else about it has been a fight.
Why?
So this curved screen is
Okay.
the reason I have 7 different
I can see
butts
that.
in it.
Yeah.
Because of the curvature of the curved screen, you can't put a perfect case on it. So when you have it sitting on your passenger seat and you have a hard drive sitting beside it, hard drive will slide off and hit the corner of your screen and crack it.
Gotcha.
And then if you drop it on a gymnasium floor and it hits anything on the floor, it cracks. This is a terrible phone design.
So Samsung and their screens.
I don't like them.
So you're saying you wouldn't buy the bending phone?
So I really want the Razer,
Okay.
the Motorola Razer phone.
Gotcha.
That looks like a really nice phone. It's like $1,200, and I'm not keeping it for 40 something years.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So yeah, my next phone I'm probably gonna spend under $400 on. And I think a lot of Apple users are looking the same way when they're spending $800 on a phone,
Yeah.
and then they're upgrading the next year. That's like $3 a day.
Yeah. It even mentioned in this article on Macworld that Apple had released a phone that was significantly cheaper than the other phones, and people loved it. It says, "Meet me in the middle." It's funny, but Apple was actually ahead of the mid-range curve. So back in the day, they were actually ahead in the mid-range, whereas now they're just super expensive. So back in 2016, Apple launched the iPhone SE between the iPhone 6s and iPhone 7. It had the body of an iPhone 5s with the guts of an iPhone 6s for nearly half the price. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really
people
do,
loved it.
I do like the smaller phone because my hands aren't big. I can't reach my entire phone with my thumb. So I have 0 apps on the top half of my phone.
Just because you can't reach
Just because you can't reach them. It's
Yeah.
I'm not going to use 2 hands to reach an app.
Yeah. I think Apple would benefit from offering a cheaper alternative.
Yeah. Because if it's a cheaper alternative, they're more likely to upgrade year after year.
True.
Because it's not going to hurt so much. But
Which actually would be even better for Apple, as long as the consumers could actually spend more money that way.
But it isn't like the phone markets where Apple's been paying a lot of attention. And that's a
What?
segue to our next topic.
Yeah, $1,000. Well, $1,000 monitor stands is one thing.
That's really what they've been working on.
Next up, we've got a new Apple patent, which shows a mixed reality headset that tracks your whole face, including, but not limited to, your expressions, your facial expressions.
And possibly your hands.
Yep.
So I've definitely filed patents like this in the past for AR.
Augmented reality.
Augmented reality. And so it's nothing really special, but the fact that they're filing more shows that they're still interested. It wasn't just patent,
a one-time thing. Yeah.
Somebody over in Apple is thinking about this. And we're thinking about them.
Yes.
So I can't wait for this. I really look forward to see what Apple does, because what Apple does is going to push the AR and then therefore VR technology.
Yes. AR has been tried before. For example, Google Glass, which failed spectacularly.
Yeah. And Windows mixed reality portal.
Okay.
And that's that Halo looking thing.
Gotcha. So it'll be interesting to see what Apple does with it, especially because Apple is so well known for their user experience.
Yes. And so it's not going to be something like the HTC Vive where it's a bit of a buggy mess, where the one game I really loved, Compound VR, they did one update on the control scheme. I didn't play it for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I finally sat down a couple weeks ago, relearned the new control scheme. I'll play it again.
Okay.
I might teach you how to play it.
Okay.
Because new controls are not intuitive still.
Yeah.
They're still terrible. But if Apple goes into AR, I feel like it's going to be very intuitive.
Yes. Because that's where Apple shines. And we've got the Joy-Con.
When we do Joy-Con, we can do the portraits and then our sponsors.
Oh, yes. All right.
Let's see if this loads. We might do sponsors and then the AI portraits. That way it will load. Oh, we might have it.
There's a website out there, aiportraits.com.
And if we can load it.
Which draws kind of like a old classical oil-based painting of yourself from an image. Their website, as you can see right now, is experiencing some difficulties.
Yep. So here's the idea here with the selfie it starts with, and then the AI continuously makes it more old-fashioned. It's really cool. I don't quite understand how it all works, but it works somehow. And this is the really good example here, where I can take her face, and you can see the similarities. Like
yes.
You can tell how her nose is shaped on this side more.
Yes.
It is her, but like her mouth is completely different. It's not the same mouth at all, almost. And it's very cool. It's almost like it's finding the imperfections in the human face and moving those over. Is what it almost looks like. And so here's a couple examples.
There's a ton more options. Yeah, a ton more examples.
But I think my favorite example is under the Y. Oh, where's my favorite one? It may have been that one of her. Here's the guys who made it, if their pictures load.
It's pretty cool that even for their like bio pictures, they use the app.
It'd be really cool if they did the thing where it's them, but if you hover your mouse over it, it morphs over.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So you could see like the morph between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 people made it. It's pretty cool.
Kind of an interesting app idea.
It just kind of reminded me of the Face app.
Yes, which is the new thing. So last week it was Area 51 memes everywhere.
Yeah.
This week everyone's sharing a picture of them with a face that's like 40 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw this at AI Portraits, and it was different.
Yeah, up the same alley. And then we've got, what do you say? Sponsors or Joy-Con?
Joy-Con, because it's an odd topic.
Okay.
The Nintendo Switch's Joy-Con has a drift problem, and The Verge is here to explain it to us.
Yes.
So that we can explain it to you.
So these are phantom inputs, which means that you're playing a game and you're not doing any input on the joystick, but the game still detects some kind of input. So it's not that it's not detecting your button presses, it's that it's adding false motion on the joystick.
And they write here, it could be due to dust or dirt or something between the button or the stick and the actual contact sensors. Apparently, some people have reported soaking it in rubbing alcohol, like isopropyl 97% rubbing alcohol.
Yes.
Or blowing it out with an air compressor has fixed the problem.
Okay.
And others report it doesn't.
Gotcha.
So no one's really sure what's happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, some brave people took it apart and saw wear and tear. So almost just like normal use wear and tear.
Yeah.
Improper manufacturing, I guess, would be the blame there. Or heavy usage. But it's definitely odd. I've had a similar problem with the HTC Vive controller.
Yes.
So HTC Vive VR controller. Let me pull up a picture here. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. HTC Vive. It has a thumb pad on it.
And the thumb pad has two controls. It has like a touch interface and then also a kind of tilting, pressing interface. As you'll see there on the top right in the center there.
So your thumb would go here. And this is the back with your trigger finger. Then there's the side view. So your trigger finger would go there. Your thumb sits up here. And then the rest of your hand squeezes. And I had a problem with one of my controllers where a silicon dome was no longer under the trackpad. So you could hover your finger on it and it would still sense it. It would work fine. But the button press was gone.
Oh, interesting.
And I ended up just having to buy a new one off Amazon.
Okay.
Just ate the loss. It was an expensive eating of loss.
About $130 or so?
130 or so.
Okay.
And, it's one of those things, you play it a lot, you wear it out. It's kind of like your bicycle tire or something.
Yeah.
It's
kind of a normal wear and tear.
Yeah.
How long had you had the controller before that happened?
So, I want to say I had it for almost a year.
Do you know how long the Switch has been out? Because I'd be curious to see how much these Switches have actually been used. Because it looks like here on the article at The Verge, it says that Nintendo does offer a warranty for 12 months for consoles, which would include the Joy-Con modules that come off of the thing. And then a 90-day warranty for accessories. So if you separately bought some Joy-Cons, that would have a 90-day warranty.
So it's just over 2 years old.
That's longer than I thought.
That's way longer than I thought. Yeah.
That's about 2 1/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so the one problem I have with it is that it may be a manufacturing error, in which case Nintendo should do something better than their compensation plan now.
Okay. Yeah.
But with me and the VR headset, we use it heavily.
Yeah.
There'll be some days where we'll sit down, we'll play it 8 hours in the day. We'll play it till the controllers run dead, put the controller, charge them for 30 minutes, and then keep going.
Okay.
We don't let it have a break. And so to me, that was just normal use
normal wear and tear, yeah.
You're not going to complain to a carpet installer when you wear your carpet out.
Yep.
And to me, this is the exact same idea.
And a Joy-Con controller is a lot less expensive than a Vive controller.
Yes.
It says the Joy-Con controller costs... Well, it says it can cost $40 for repair if you're out of warranty. Mm-hmm. Or you can buy a new Joy-Con for $50 individually or $80 as a pair.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, if you're outside your warranty, I think you're just going to have to eat it and buy a new Joy-Con. Yeah. Don't recommend the repair because you might as well get a brand new controller.
Yeah, I do agree there. Yeah, because I think if it doesn't break in the first 90 days, it's not a manufacturing defect. If it's not happening to a big enough percentage.
Yeah.
It could be a manufacturing defect with the humidity in the house or some type of living situation. But if it's only happening to what Apple would call a small percentage of people.
Yeah.
A very small percentage.
It may just be people who are using it a lot.
Yeah.
Or abusing it, or are in an environment like a humid environment.
Yep. Or Cheeto fingers.
Yes, true. The interesting part about this article is that they are considering or maybe even filing a class action lawsuit against Nintendo for these defective controllers, which in my mind is a little bit overboard.
It's way overboard. Yes. There's no way they can win that.
Yeah. I think you just got to eat the cost and buy a new controller. Another part of the issue comes with the Switch Lite. So it could be that the Switch Lite doesn't have this problem, and this is a reason to go with the Switch Lite. But I would expect
it to have the same problem.
It's going to be the exact same mechanism inside the thumbsticks. The difference with the Switch Lite is that the Joy-Cons don't come off from the device, which means that if your thumbstick has this drift issue,
it's no longer a $40 or $80 fix.
You've got to replace the whole Switch Lite or get it repaired.
The Switch Lite's not but like $120 or something.
I think it was
$180,
maybe $200.
Well, that's a light Switch Lite Nintendo. Thanks. Price. Yeah, $200.
Okay, $199. Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's a lot more than $40. That doesn't take a genius for that one.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think the lawsuit is way overboard and will not work out in their favor.
Yep.
In the lawsuit seeker's favor. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Seeing where things go. We're going to see sponsors soon.
Yes. This video is sponsored by
us,
J-Mart Media and
Nephew Tech.
Mr. Nephew Tech.
That's my dad.
You mean your uncle?
Oh, man. No, we're not going to go down this
meta
Oklahoma lane.
So if you'd like to sponsor the show, hit us up, shoot us an email, contact us. Oh, man, I forgot to add our social medias.
Yep, send
down
us
there.
Tweet, Instagram us.
Yeah. YouTube us. Leave us a comment.
Go on WhatsApp. We're everywhere.
Or hit us up on Tinder. Which brings us perfectly into our next topic. I don't know if it's actually our next topic. Oh, it is. Nice.
If you can find one of us on Tinder, let us know.
Yes. So, yeah, seriously, because it's not me. I don't use Tinder.
Not that type of guy, eh?
Nope.
Oh, man. So what is this? Android Central.
Apparently, Tinder is ending their relationship with Google, at least in a way. Don't worry, the app will still be available on the Play Store.
They're financially independent people now.
Yes, they're financially independent. So, a lot of apps use the Google Play Store for their payments because it's easier for the developers. They don't have to keep track of users' credit cards and all that kind of thing. They can just let Google do that, and they take the payment. The problem with this is that, not a problem necessarily, but the downside of this is that Google takes a 30% fee,
which is huge,
from the developers, which is, yes, quite big compared to if the developers were doing their credit card processing in the app. It would be maybe, I think about a 2 or 3%. You say lower.
I say way lower.
Credit card processing fee. Either way, it's a big difference. So now Tinder is moving away from their Google Play Store processing into their in-app processing. So now instead of just using your Google Play balance to pay for things in the Tinder app, you'll have to enter your credit card information and pay that way.
So are you willing to give Tinder your money?
Nope.
Are you willing to give a third-party app your money?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe. One downside of this from the consumer is that A, it's less convenient because you have to have your credit card on you to input it into the Tinder app, whereas if your credit card's connected to Google Play, it's super simple. Yep.
So you may be willing to spend more.
Or if you have a gift card. Yep. Kind of like the Amazon concept. Amazon has your credit card information, and you can just click and buy stuff, whereas with a third-party website, say, for example, headphonesforyou.com.
Yeah.
Or
Foam Tiles. I may not have bought them if they didn't get them
www.foamtiles.com. You have to go in, you have to enter your own credit card information, and there's kind of a danger because you're giving your credit card information to a
Third-party website.
third party that's not quite as trusted as Amazon.
Yep.
For what it's worth.
And it's the idea that you're not going to put physical labor into buying something. So if I have to stand up right now and get my wallet, I'm not going to buy it.
Yep.
But if I can go on Amazon.com, put something in the cart, and hit checkout, and it be here tomorrow morning, I'm more likely to buy it.
So there's kind of a trade-off between the app developers getting a bigger payout and also convenience and security for the consumer.
Yeah. And I would be curious if this pays off for Tinder or not, because it's not like a MOBA game where you're going to have people super invested in the app.
Yes.
But at the same time, you may have hardcore Tinder users who may be super invested in the app.
Yes. So again, I haven't used Tinder, but from what I understand, one of the things that you can buy on Tinder is super likes.
Super likes, yes.
So you can either swipe left or swipe right, or you can give a super like, which maybe gives the person that you are attracted to, we shall say,
yep,
a better idea that you're interested in them.
So we're real nerds here. The Verge. Tinder will now let you super like the people you really like.
Yeah, the people you super like, you could say.
Here's how it works. If you super like someone, it's an upward swipe. That person will see that you like them before they make the decision to swipe left and never talk to you.
Oh, okay.
So it does tell you that that person likes you.
Okay.
And because you only super like once per day, your potential soulmate will probably not know. But paying Tinder Plus users can super like a match up to 5 times a day.
Okay. So it's like some kind of subscription-based service maybe, where you get 5 super likes instead of 1, like rather than paying for individual super likes.
Huh. So it's kind of like buying drinks, I guess. So instead,
in a way, yeah.
Although
the other person doesn't get anything.
They get a drink.
But they don't. They just get a super like.
Oh, that's very true. Actually.
Yeah.
They get the ego boost. They can take a screenshot, post it on Instagram. They're a real influencer.
Maybe they'll go get a drink with you, and then get a drink, and you'll have to pay more money.
Oh man.
Sounds unpleasant to me.
But Tinder is cutting Google off in a bit.
Yeah. I like that developers can do that.
Yes, it's nice that it's an option.
Yes.
And with a company the size of Tinder, I would trust them.
They're relatively...
If they can have TV commercials, I would be more willing to trust them.
Yeah. Whereas I've recently been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook ads that are totally shady.
Yeah, a lot of sunglasses deals.
Yep, or you'll see the same ad from multiple companies.
The same pictures?
Yeah, the same pictures. Yeah, that's super sketchy. So that's somewhere that I would not want to spend my money. I'd pay the extra 30% on Amazon for that peace of mind.
You do Amazon dating?
No.
30-day warranty on them.
That'd be great. Sign me up.
Oh, man.
Then we've got a new Windows article. Windows knows its users are stupid and don't care about privacy.
That's
nice to meet you.
Windows headline.
That's me. Privacy. Who needs it?
It's overrated. Undersold.
So in one of the most recent updates, you'll have a better idea of this because you work on a lot more Windows computers than I do. But Windows made it harder to choose to make a local account.
Which is terrible. And I wish I could have screenshots. If I knew we were going to talk about this today, I would have gotten screenshots Saturday because I did this. But so you get a computer in. You take out their old hard drive that's dead. You put it in a new solid state drive. You take your Windows 10 USB stick and you stick it in there. You go through all the activation and all that fun installing stuff to get it from the USB to the SSD. And then it's time to set up the account. And before it asked, would you like to create a offline account or a Microsoft Live, I believe they call it Microsoft Live account. And they no longer give you the option.
So it used to be there was an option, I guess sign in with Microsoft account or make a local account. And now it's just the Microsoft account option?
Yes. I wonder if I can find a picture of it here.
And then you said that if you don't enter a valid account, then it does finally give you an option to create a local account.
Yes.
But it's hidden behind.
Yeah, so before it was two very clear buttons.
Yes.
And it was very walk with the wizard. It was
Okay.
super easy to understand. But now it's like, all right, it's time to set up your account. Please sign into your Microsoft account. And it asks for email or phone number. And that's all the box says. And so I was being me. And I was like, nope, we're going to put the word admin. Because I always sell my computers with the word admin in them. And it was like, all right, now please enter your password for your account. And I just hit next, putting nothing in there. Because that's how they always work when you sell them. And it said, we can't find an account with those credentials. Would you like to create an offline account instead? I was like, oh, yeah, let's do that. Of course. And then it went through. But if I wasn't boneheaded, I would have never figured it out.
Yeah.
No one told me.
Yeah.
Nothing hinted in that direction.
Yeah.
It was just, I didn't want an account, so I just did what I wanted instead, and it worked.
Yeah. And for me, I use the Microsoft account just because it's convenient and I don't have a reason not to.
Yeah.
But for you, I can see selling computers.
Very,
You couldn't have them all on your Microsoft account.
That would be bad.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about that aspect of it.
Yeah. No, that's definitely.
And if you don't have a customer's Microsoft login information,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't.
And my easiest way to sell a computer is to turn the computer on and then just like play with it.
Yeah.
And I just let them stand up there for 5, 20, an hour.
However long it takes to buy.
Yeah. It's like, you can do whatever you want. They're like, anything? I was like, as long as it's not illegal.
Yeah.
Play with it for a minute. See if you like it. And if they got questions, I'll answer their questions. But it gives them a chance to get the actual experience rather than using a window model in a big box store or something. This is like, nope, this is the actual computer if you want to buy it.
Yeah.
This is your experience. And
I didn't think about that aspect, yeah.
them trying to hide the ability of local accounts is kind of insulting.
Yeah.
That an average user is going to follow the wizard. They're not going to be like, nah, we're not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, okay, I'll put an email account or my email address. Okay, I'll put in a password. And they'll be like, would you like to create the account? And they're going to hit yes because there's no other option.
Yeah.
And it's an aggravating world where there's no reason to not give them the option.
Yes. Which brings us to a point that we hadn't expected to talk about, but Windows has been removing other options like that. So it used to be, and most people probably don't ever have to worry about this, but it used to be so easy to go into the control panel and change settings, or to go into the microphone and headset app, whatever the heck it's called.
We can actually do that real fast.
Yeah. So look at this here.
So we're going to move us real fast wherever our mouse is.
Yeah.
You just throw it in like the top.
Oh, ouch. Clicked the wrong button there.
So you used to be able to just go right here to the speakers, right click, and then there would be a open sound control panel.
Yes.
You no longer get that option anymore at all. So you have to go to open sound settings, and then you have to scroll down. So we're going to scroll down. It's not. Where are you? Is it here? No.
But basically,
There it is right here. Sound control panel.
they're just...
And then we go over to recording, and then here's my microphones. So-
And the reason I used to do this is because it allows you to right-click on a microphone and then listen to it, which is really helpful when you're streaming.
Yes.
So most people probably don't have to worry about this. But for me, it is somewhat crucial. And Microsoft just removed this button for no apparent reason.
So
And they've kind of made other things more difficult like that as well.
Yeah.
Like with their new settings app.
Yep. So
The
new
settings app, you can do
over-
certain things in.
Yeah.
But most actual real functionality, you have to go into the control panel for it.
And this is the only computer. This one and the streaming PC, ironically enough, are the only two that I don't have control panel on my taskbar.
Okay.
Because on all my other computers, I have down here the Windows Explorer, which is this trusty little thing right here.
Yeah.
And then I have the control panel, which is just this thing right here. And then the control panel is where you can find everything. So if you want your microphones, we have your microphones.
It's as if Windows is just, or Microsoft, I guess,
Yeah.
is just removing options.
And it's getting aggravating.
And it's, bothering me. But anyway. Elon Musk.
The man with likes to backtrack on his words.
Yes. Elon Musk
He's
originally did not like AI, right?
He's been super against AI.
Which
a
I
lot.
agree with.
He's been very vocal about it. And I agree with him mostly. So I like AI in general.
Okay.
I don't like AI that can connect to the internet.
Okay.
I like local AI. Local artificial intelligence. Mass artificial intelligence is terrifying.
Yes. And now Elon Musk is making it worse with a Neuralink implant that will kind of merge a computer system with your brain.
Yeah, so it looks elegant in this state.
It looks like a hearing aid there.
Yeah, so it's not anything obtrusive like the Google Glass or the Snapchat
Yes.
spectacles.
And then it has some kind of thing implanted into your
I think
skull or your brain, right?
Yeah. I think this is it here.
Okay.
I do like how they put a penny beside it, but it's two cropped images because you can see the crop line in it.
Yeah. It could still be to scale, I guess.
Yeah. Be a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about copper in your brain?
Not very good. Not very good. Because all this stuff can get hacked.
It could.
And I don't like it in my brain.
What if they offer patches within 60 days?
Within 60 days?
Within 60-day patch.
Make it 30 and you've got a deal.
I got a deal at 30?
Yeah.
For 30 days, you cannot control your
I think this is such a big breach of privacy. Sure, people will voluntarily take it.
Yes, undoubtedly.
And once one person has it and has access to the internet just by their thoughts,
or
it's almost like you have to get it to compete.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be a chain reaction. It would be cool to see this take over. So instead of the vampires or the pirates or the zombies, we have these things, and it's going to.
Well, there's actually a show that has that in it.
I'm trying to think of its name. I can't.
It's called The 100.
The 100. Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
And I don't want to spoil it.
Spoilers.
But
I don't want to spoil it, but
later on in some of the episodes, there is something like that gets implanted in you and is connected to a network.
Yeah.
Where basically whatever you see, everyone else who has this implant in them has seen and can remember. And it's as if it's all just one hive mind in a way.
Okay. Now I'm going to use the resource of this. I've been trying to find this movie again. I watched it about 2 years ago or so.
Okay.
I want to watch it again. I can't find it.
Okay.
But it's kind of about the same idea.
Okay.
But it's like an underground safe city, and they think that the outside world has been taken over by some type of alien creature.
Okay.
And it turns out that they all have these implants that they don't know about. Spoilers for this movie. And the people on the outside are actually the rebellion who have ripped them out. And they're trying to save the people on the inside from the big data guys.
Okay.
And I can't find this movie for the life of me, but it's really good.
I have not seen that movie.
And the budget felt really low.
Okay.
It may have been a really big budget, but it felt like a low budget, and it was really good storyline. I really liked it. can't find it again.
Okay.
So
I'll
if
have to
you
look
can
into
find
that.
it going off that, let me know.
It sounds cool.
But it's. I'm not going to be the first to get one
Yeah.
of these. I don't like the idea of it.
I don't like the idea of it.
Partly because it's permanent. I mean, you may be able to get it removed, but you're drilling a hole in your skull, so
Yeah.
it's permanent to a degree.
And it looks like he wants to do first tests on humans by the end of 2020. So the end of next year, which is pretty early.
So I'm curious if this may end up saving some lives simply because of the surgery. If they go to take people in for the human testing, they're most likely going to have to do full testing on the human body to make sure you're compatible.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to find like people who have something growing in them or something, some type of tumor,
They may.
or if this is going to cause some type of tumor.
It
It's never
may.
been tested before.
Yeah. But they'll definitely choose super healthy people for this because they don't want to
Definitely.
spend the money on it
Yeah.
and have someone unhealthy who's not going
Yeah,
to
but, like,
survive very long.
Imagine getting accepted going in and they scanning like, so bad news is you're not going to get the implant. Worst news is you have 2 years left to live.
That'd be a bummer.
On the good news, we found it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder because this is going to be very invasive.
Yes. On a less invasive topic, we've got a mind-controlled robot arm that does not need any kind of brain implants. So this is geared towards people who are paralyzed or are paraplegic. Maybe they don't have the use of their arms, and this will allow you to put on a cap like you can see there on the right. It looks like I think it's an EEG monitor, some kind of electrodes that sense your brain activity and can allow you to move a robotic arm.
It looks really cool.
It looks pretty cool. Now this is something that I can definitely get behind.
Yeah, you're right. It's an EEG system.
But this is it's
So-
a totally different purpose.
Yeah, so you're saying it could be for paraplegics or people who can't control their limbs.
Yeah.
I'm curious if it would be good for unsafe things, for almost like bomb defusals and
Like
such.
or even exosuits.
Exosuits would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would trust myself inside of an exosuit that's controlled by my
Brain.
brain rather than my muscle.
Okay, yeah.
I think I trust my
True.
muscle more than my brain.
True. Yeah.
But the idea that you could put this on a robot with a camera on it,
Almost like controlling a video game in a
Yeah.
way. That's a good point that I hadn't thought of.
I wonder what the reaction times difference will be between how fast you can move your hands on a controller versus how fast you can move an arm with your brain.
And accurate too.
Accuracy is going to be
Which one thing that this does talk about is it allows for more continuous movement, such as opening doors, grabbing food. Whereas previous kind of robotic arms were more jerky and just like you could grab something, but
Yeah,
you might like knock it over or
you squeeze it too hard.
not very precise, not very kind of gentle.
So one really cool thing about this I didn't think of till now is with the HTC Vive again, going back to that of course.
Yes.
They had limitations on how fast you could flick the controllers around
Okay.
for what they thought that humans could move at.
Okay.
So that way, if you were holding still in game, your hand wasn't twitching or something. It was the
Mhm.
idea that they were smoothing out the motions to make it look cleaner.
Gotcha.
And they ended up having to update the frequency. So,
Okay.
because people playing Beat Saber were moving so fast that it was actually lagging behind.
Okay.
And they were noticing that people were flipping their wrists at faster than ever thought before.
Gotcha.
And this is a really cool idea that I wonder how fast you could move something. Because like
Yeah.
when you go to shake someone's hand, you're not moving your hand as fast as you can out to
You're
greet
just
them.
moving it out.
Yeah, you move it slowly so everything flows and they can see movement happening.
Yeah.
I wonder how fast you can move this arm if it was controlled by like servo motors. Have
That's
you?
an interesting thought.
Before we go to the meme of the week, I
Okay.
kind of have 2 memes at this point now.
Okay.
I might just do 2.
All right. Before we get to the meme of the week.
Okay. Have you seen this one?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the second meme, is that right?
Yeah. I got a better meme.
Okay. Maybe I'll find my other meme, too. So we had originally picked memes that we may have accidentally seen or may not, you know. You never know. So I'm going to pick a different meme that I also thought was funny. It is kind of relevant because it's related to the current kind of political whatever.
Cool.
Ooh.
So I got mine up, so I might just show it
Okay.
on here for you, or in a full screen. So I just Googled it and found it on the Chive, but it's not from here originally. I think it was Reddit.
Okay.
Reddit / no stupid questions. If kinetic energy is converted into thermal energy, how hard do I have to slap a chicken to cook it?
That's funny.
So someone responded, as your
man.
friendly neighborhood physics major, I decided to calculate this with a few
It's
assumptions.
going to have to be really hard.
The formula for converting between kinetic energy and thermal energy is 1/2 mv over 2.
1/2 momentum velocity squared equals something.
Okay. The average human hand weighs about 0.4 kilograms. The average slap has a velocity of 11 milliseconds, 25 miles an hour.
Meters per second.
Thank you.
Come on now.
I have no idea, man. An average rotisserie chicken weighs 1 kilogram, 2 pounds, has a specific heat capacity of 2,720.
Joules? I don't know.
Sure. And let's assume the chicken has to reach a temperature of 205 Celsius, 400 degrees, for us to consider
Wow,
it
that's
cooked.
really hot.
That's not terrible. Because isn't it 375 to cook raw chicken?
It's like 175.
Are you sure?
I think
You should
so.
probably double go check that one. For us to consider it cooked.
For
Yeah.
the internal temperature, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways,
Anyway,
uh,
whatever.
One average slap would generate a temperature increase of 0.0089 degrees Celsius.
Ooh.
It would take 23,034 average slaps to cook the chicken. So if you can slap a chicken 23,000 times without heat loss, you could cook a chicken. To cook the chicken in one slap, you would have to slap it with a velocity of 1,665.65
meters
meters
per second.
or 3,725.95 miles per hour.
Wow, that's a really hard slap. At that point, your chicken's going to be
So-
in the atmosphere.
I wonder if you could mind slap a chicken with a servo motor at 3,726 miles per hour.
I don't think there's any way it can move that fast. That is so fast. Just think about how fast that is. Very fast.
That's what made me think of with that servo motor.
That's insanely fast. All right, I'll share my different meme then. It's a Facebook meme, sorry. That should load, right?
I hope so, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Each branch's most famous battle. Army, Normandy. Marines, I'm not going to... Fallujah, thank you. Navy, Midway. Air Force, Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
Area 51 memes, we're back.
Show me them aliens. I know, guys, it's so last week, but I just had to share an Area 51 meme.
We're all about those old faces now.
Oh, yes. We'll see what happens on September 20th. You going?
I took off work.
Nice.
Got permission from the big boss, man.
Nice.
It's kind of rude about it. It's part of being self-employed, you know?
Well,
We
that
did
is it for this week of Let's Tech About That. Join us next week where we tech about more tech topics. And
Maybe not more, just different ones.
just different ones, yeah.
It might be less.
Hopefully not Area 51 memes next week.
Oh, please, no.
Let us know how you like our audio and our background setup. I'm really happy with the background, and we'll have to listen to the audio, but it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Every time I checked it, it sounded really well.
Sounded really well.
Sounded real darn good.
There you go. All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.